Good morning there, Murray's readers and leaders. I'm sorry to say today is April 11th at 9 o'clock. I was supposed to do a live with conversation, had people coming. It didn't work. For some reason, YouTube would not let me live stream. Something about the cloud wasn't, or maybe I'm overclouded. Maybe there's too many damn clouds here in Hollywood, Florida. I have no idea. All I know is I couldn't do live, but here I am. I said I'd do a book review. I finished the book last night. It's called Intellectuals and Society. This is the book review, the conversation. I don't know. But I will give you a rundown. I'm planning on doing a live for next Wednesday. It'll be on science fiction. Now, you got to subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be here next week for Wednesday at 9 o'clock. If for some reason it doesn't work out, I will do book reviews on this particular writer, which I've read two of his books. Very good books. In any case, here we get back to Intelligence and Society, written by Mr. Thomas Sowell. He is a professor of economics, intelligence history of intelligence. You believe there's a course on intelligence and history. But after reading his book, I can understand it. It's very incredibly interesting on how the intelligentsia really screwed up this world. In any case, let's see, I got my notes here. And he teaches at Cornell or taught at Cornell, UCLA, and Amherst. Amherst is in Massachusetts. And he taught those courses. He is now a fellow at the Hoover Institute. I watched a video of him being interviewed by the Hoover Institute, and also one by William F. Buckley back in 1981. Incredible. It was Firing Line. If any of you guys are out there that know about Firing Line and William F. Buckley, it's a video you should watch. I'm going to put one of them in my description now. I think I'll put that back in the description too. In any case, I get down to the book. The book was basically a textbook, something for college grade. It was easy to read, however. I enjoyed it. You got to put your thinking cap on. Let's put that. You've got to put a thinking cap on. If you don't have one, I don't know what to say. But everybody that I know that's a reader is a leader, and they have a thinking cap. I got my thinking cap on here. And in any case, he goes back into how intelligentsia pushed governments into doing things. And they had the counter, which they call he calls the tragic view, which is the sad view, not the common view. And of course, the intelligentsia went poo-poo to them. We're smarter than you. We've got the intelligence. He talks into about Karl Marx and his misconceptions versus what is it, Adam Smith? Yeah, Adam Smith's. Adam Smith's economic situation and how the intelligentsia. He goes back to the 1930s. He talks about how the intelligentsia of the United States of America didn't want us to get in World War II. And in Britain, they didn't build up, or in France, it was worse. They didn't build up against Hitler because of their intelligentsia, telling them, no, we don't have to worry about this guy. He's not going to do anything. Whatever. And everybody's saying, no, we got a problem here. But the intelligentsia said no. Let's see. Let's see, strange. Oh yeah, in our case, well, one that hits home is the intelligentsia of the Vietnam War, ran by Robert McNamara of the Secretary of State under two administrations that just escalated the war. And it was the domino theory, and you don't know what you're talking about. And luckily, we had people who just kept on pushing and pushing and pushing in the universities, which basically since then has changed and gone the other way. They're they're the intelligentsia, and anyways, his conceptions. He produced ideas to confusion, uh, and he talks. Uh, Thomas Sowell talks about that the intelligentsia are produce ideas. If their ideas don't work, they don't pay anything. They no problem. But he relates it to an engineer who is an engineer. If the bridge falls down, he's not going to have a job too long, is he? Or if the house falls down, an architect and engineer, they don't. They have to pay for their mistakes. We have our intelligentsia now in the United States of America, and because of our particular problem around the world, the pandemic, we have the pseudo intelligentsia and the intelligentsia coming out and giving their words of wisdom. So, us people down here on the lower level don't know what we're talking about, but they do. And if you don't believe in them, you're this, that, and the other thing. You don't know what you're talking about. But what are we going to do? Here's a little quib from William F. Buckley, which is interesting. He said, I'd rather be governed by the first four. Now, this was in 1981. I would rather be governed by the first 400 names in the Boston telephone book than the faculty at Harvard. Now, that's even gotten worse. Now, and it is the flip side of this. Stowell went to Harvard, got his BS degree there in economics, then went to another school, and then went to University of Chicago to get his PhD. He's a very intelligent man. Like I said, I watched two of his videos, one from 1981 with William F. Buckley, and the other one recently with the Harvard U. I think it was in 2012 when this book came out. Uh, the book was easy to read, okay? And he makes very good points of why we've got to beware of our intelligentsia. We got some of our intelligentsia is coming out now. What was it? I saw it. We're going to have cards uh, to say that we're immune from the coronavirus. And then Google is going to track us. You think that's going to happen? Not on my watch. I'll be screaming. I'll be down at City Hall if you're not. I will be. And let's see, what else did I? Oh, yeah, I brought up the thing. But in many cases, uh, they pushed us in the wrong direction. There are a few people that are intellectual, so to speak. And one thing was what was it said? What is intellectual? It's intellectual. Oh yeah, intelligence minus judgment equals intellect. You got to add wisdom in there. If you don't have wisdom and you don't know about everything else going on, you got a problem. And I think I have a problem. The little blue ball is running in my film. I hope it doesn't bother me as far as producing this thing. The production on this is going through Screencast. I've done it over 30 times, but I might have been reason why I couldn't get my whatchamacallit, my live stream up was because of that little ball. Maybe for some reason I'm having interference on the internet, and you've got to have perfect on that. Now listen, Next week, I'm going to try again. This is Roy Murray out. Now remember, subscribe, hit the bell. This book is a good book to read if you want to take your time to read it. You can't read it like a novel. It goes slower than that, but I recommend it. It costs a little more than a basic novel, unless you're buying the book, that is. But on Kindle, this goes a little bit later, less. Well, have a good day. I hope everybody's better. This is Roy Murray out. Bye.